Hey guys, Cody with CJC Off-Road. Today's gonna be the part 2 video of the Roaming Lost build. If you're not familiar with this build, we'll start from the top. Roaming Lost approached us. He wanted to build the ultimate overland Ram truck. He wanted to build a truck that's gonna get an in-bed camper, something he can live out of. And I believe actually since this video has been filmed, he's been living out of this truck full time. So we want to show you guys the blueprint to build the ultimate Ram overland build. Now, every truck has its fit, right? So our power wagon with a lightweight camper, that's my personal hunting rig. Our green mega cab, which is a 2500, is Cole's rig, where the heaviest thing he might tow is a boat. And then also, we've done a lot of videos on the Air Assist 3500s. For those of you who tow your RV cross country, those of you who are hot shotting, things like that, that suspension system is awesome for that purpose. However, for this purpose, we wanted to go with a non-Air Assist 3500. Again, that allows us to utilize some custom parts in the rear that give as much capacity as well as much suspension movement as possible. Literally every day now, there's a new camper company, a new overland company, and things like that popping up literally every day. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing for the industry. However, we're getting a ton of requests nowadays of, hey, what suspension setup do I need for this build? Let's be realistic. We actually can't really help you until you get halfway through your camper build. So in this instance, this is the part 2 video. We built the complete front end of John's truck while there was no camper, no flatbed. Then after he did that, he got it weighed, made a couple more modifications, got his camper built out, because it actually was a bare interior that he then custom outfitted himself. And then you can kind of get the weights and proceed from there. So in this truck, we were actually seeing roughly 4,000 pounds of increased rear end weight. That is an astronomical number. That is something we could not have accounted for had we just read the camper spec sheet, guesstimated what a couple bottles of propane or some sheets and some firewood weighed. The best way in order to do this is actually to build out the camper, get the rear axle weight, and then go from there. This leaf pack is an extremely custom leaf pack built by Deaver Suspension in Southern California to compensate for that weight. And what that allows for is full suspension movement, full capacity, and a comfortable ride while having just, an extreme amount of weight in the rear end and building a very unique setup. Diving on into the suspension, this is the 3.25 pin top 2.5 inch suspension system. Now that is a tongue twister. Essentially, it is a 3.25 inch lift kit for the truck, typically 3.25 inches up front, an inch in the back, and then the 2.5 is the diameter of the shock. Now the King shocks are typically seen on Baja vehicles and things like that. However, where they do come in really handy with the camper builds is just offering a higher level of control. With that bigger shock piston, they're able to put a bigger dynamic range on the tuning, so the truck's gonna give on those slower, low-speed obstacles like driving over a rock into a campground. However, when you do hit a fire road and wanna pick up speed, the truck's gonna have full stability. In fact, for our repeat viewers, you're gonna notice this truck actually has the Carli suspension torsion sway bar on it, something that we typically tell you to sway away against when doing an out-of-the-box camper setup. However, with the custom leaf pack, the custom tuning on these shocks for this specific build, he actually is able to utilize the torsion sway bar and get a little bit more suspension movement when doing those low-speed things, driving over rocks and obstacles. However, on the highway, this truck handles excellent. Moving from the front to the back of the truck, again, you're gonna see the 2.5 diameter King shocks that are custom tuned by Carli Suspension, Carli's Soft Ride 3.25 inch coils. You're gonna see the upgraded fabricated radius arms on a build like this. That is the cherry on top, allows more front end movement. It actually allows for a more rigid feel in the front end as well. You're gonna see both the high and low stabilizers, and that's gonna control these 37s with ease. The differential guard, that's a no-brainer. When pulling into a campsite or on a long camping trip, you would hate to see your camping trip ruined by punting the front differential into a rock. This is 1/4 inch, fully welded steel. We've personally absolutely destroyed a couple of these in some of our filming, and that has allowed us to drive home with no issues. Moving to the back, again, actually when the truck left, it was just on some temporary lift blocks in video 1. Fast forward to this video, it again has a custom set of springs built by Deaver Suspension in Southern California. Those were completely built and installed after getting the flatbed deck as well as the camper, and again, as well as building out the camper, right? So dry weights, things like that we read on different RV or different camper manufacturers' websites Sometimes that can actually, using just those weights and not actually seeing what your setup weighs can leave you as a disadvantage, right? So if you go online and see your camper weighs 1,200 pounds, you're probably gonna find that it's closer to 2,000 or over 2,000 once you get it on your vehicle and outfit it the way you would like. So again, the best way to do this is probably do these builds in the stages. We get a lot of calls where someone just says, hey, this is the camper I want, sell me a package. And the most ideal setup is actually probably gonna be a 2-stage build like what you see in this video today. For wheels, he actually went with the CJC Off-Road Avengers. Again, this is gonna be that 5.75 inch back spacing to give you as much clearance as possible with 37 inch tires. On a build like this, where you're gonna be articulating, getting into weird spots, that higher back spacing number is gonna allow you to grab your fender, your flares, and your fender liner a little bit less when fully articulating the truck. I am not even scratching the surface of the cool features of this truck. Our portion was only a sliver, being the suspension. Again, John from Roaming Lost, check out all of his social channels, has put together an absolutely top-notch overland build. In fact, probably the nicest one to come through our shop, and probably personally the nicest one I've seen in the flesh. So go ahead and check out his channel. I mean, down from like a custom chainsaw mount, the custom flatbed, the bumpers. He had his hands in all of the different aspects of this build, so this is truly a unique and one-off build. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the overland segment is growing daily and it is a beautiful thing. However, we are getting a lot more requests of, hey, just send me what link I need to buy off your website and I want to put this truck together. Now, if you don't have the truck or you don't have your camper setup figured out, it's going to be hard to tell you a perfect setup like kind of what John did. It was much easier to do it in steps. Now, also, John was very realistic with his goals, right? Again, he added at minimum 4,000 pounds to this truck. He's probably done a couple cool things since we even weighed it. Now, with that said, he probably will not be doing 75 miles an hour down a whipped out road like you see us do with an unloaded truck. If you do want to do that, something like a Go Fast camper or tent is probably a little bit better idea, just so you don't destroy the really nice camper that you built. So again, it's all about, being realistic with your goals and actually having a good roadmap for what you wanted to do. John, again, having built a couple of vehicles, approached us even before building or buying the vehicle, and we were able to pretty much figure out a plan that I think we nailed perfectly. It truly was our privilege to have a hand in this build. Again, I do think this is probably one of the nicest overland builds that's come through our shop. Now, while the overland segment is growing and then gets a lot of trash talking from some of the people who camp in RVs, all of that, we love all of our customers having our hand in a complete variety of rigs, whether it is a do-it-all tow rig, a completely custom camper like this, or just those who love to daily drive a diesel truck. We're happy to help you out. If you do have any questions, feel free to check out some of our other videos, leave a comment below, call us, email us. We're happy to help, and we have a full team ready to help you as well. And also, if you are a shop watching this video and want to provide these products to your customers, we have wholesale accounts. And again, the same team ready to help you. So feel free to reach out to us whenever. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.